Well, what do we have here? We have 72% of home buyers regret that they bought their home. Look, if you've been watching this channel, you know we have continually said, hey guys, listen, if you have to buy a home, you have to buy a home. But if you can stay on the sidelines and kind of save your money and kind of see where this housing market is going, to do that. But now we have data showing 72, guys. 72. We're not talking about 40, 50, even 60%. It's almost 80% of individuals are saying to themselves,
why did I buy a home? Why did I get into this housing market right now?
And look, let's jump into it, guys, because this is going to be a spicy one. Yeah, boy. And look, I got my blue shirt back on. I felt like I was losing my real estate powers when I had the green shirt on. All jokes aside, though, let's jump into this news here, guys. 72% of recent home buyers have regrets about their purchase. As market cools, these steps can help you avoid disappointment. Well, let me just say this, guys. The disappointing part first is, listen, if you bought a home right now and you feel like,
man, my neighbor house that I thought was worth $400,000, now the value is currently going down and now it's at $350. And the way that it's looking is the house down the street just sold for $300. So what does that mean for my house?
I mean, there's not really much you can do in that scenario but kind of bear down and just say, look, I overpaid for this home, and hope that the value will come back. And that you, listen, guys, and that in the next 5 years, you will get back up to that 350, even though someone down the street bought a house that's identical to yours for 300. As the U.S. housing market cools, feverish competition of homes in the past couple of years have left 72% having regret about their home purchase, according to a recent survey. The number one reason of home buyers' remorse, 30% of respondents said that they spent too much money. I don't have a mic to drop. But how many times, guys, have we said on this channel, and I know not everyone watches this channel, but I just want to knock this home. How many times have we said, do not overpay? We've said it so many times. And listen, I understand some people had to buy a home. They were moving, they were doing XYZ or other circumstance made them buy a home. But a lot of you guys thought this is FOMO and I gotta jump in. And then once you get into a home and you got your brand new home, you know what always happens, guys? You know when you go buy a new car and you wanted this car for forever, right? This is your dream car. But then once you obtain it, you know, a month later, 2 months later, the newness wears out, right? And all of a sudden you start thinking rationally about how much money you spent on it versus how much it cost to repair. Two, you actually could have bought another car that could have done the exact same thing that didn't cost $100,000. And you think to yourself, I overpaid for this. Well, the same thing is happening with people who bought homes. They're thinking to themselves,
I love this house, but was it worth me spending $100,000 overpriced tag on this? Was it worth it? And I'm paying higher taxes now. My insurance is sky high now. And John down the street bought the exact same house for $300,000 cheaper. Oh, man.
That's what buyers are seeing now. The second most common regret was rushing the home buying process, with 30% saying that their purchase decision was rushed and 26% indicated they bought too quickly. Like I said, I don't have a mic to drop, but these are the reasons that we've talked about. Remember, we have been talking about on this channel about individuals waiting, not rushing the process. We have been saying on this channel, guys, and if you are one of the people who have been following these instructions and using research that you have looked at on your own and said, you know what, I'm going to sit out on this, kudos to you. Kudos to you. But here we have home buyers saying the second most common regret was rushing the home buying process. Rushing the home buying process. What does that mean? Well, we know that a year ago, 6 months ago, homebuyers were foregoing appraisals, foregoing, inspecting the property, even going inside of the property. They went so fast and they didn't even do research on comps because none of that stuff mattered. It didn't matter what Jake sold his house for down the street. It didn't matter. It didn't matter. All that mattered is how much can I pay for this home to get the offer accepted. It didn't matter about comps, and appraisals were playing in this appraisal domino effect also. And so when you're being rushed and pushed and you say,
you know what, I'm going to pay $50,000 over because all I want to do is gamify this process.
Because that's what the housing market had become at that point. It was just a game. It was, how can I do this eBay auction type of winning the bid? And that's what it turned into. And of course, individuals are going to have regret once they look back and when they see that the house has won. Your realtor won. The title company won. The only person who lost is you. You the only person who lost. Everybody got paid except you. The mortgage company got paid. Everybody got paid in one except you. And that is a crying shame. 26% indicated that they bought too quickly. Well, that goes hand in hand with buying the biggest purchase of your life and treating it like you're buying groceries at the store.
It's funny because it's true.
Have you ever went to the grocery store and was attracted to the way the packaging looked? You was like, wow,
This has some of my favorite flavors on it, and the packaging looks so nice.
well, that's what happened with home buyers. They saw a nice packaging because they didn't go inside. They didn't get an inspection done. And they said,
You know what? I'm gonna overpay for this, and hopefully when I get inside, everything looks great and I won't regret my purchase.
well, the same thing happens at the grocery store when you see something that's nicely packaged and then you drink it or you eat it and you go, this really don't taste so good. They tricked me with the packaging. And you cannot get tricked by this stuff, guys. And that's the reason, like I said, channels like this are so important so that you can know what to look out for.
Like and subscribe.
The hot sellers market in recent years prompted buyers to go above and beyond to seal the deals on prospective homes, which contributed to regrets, to the point that 31% of home buyers said they paid over the asking price. The median amount paid over the listing price was $65,000, guys. $65,000 is the average price people overpaid on a home. $65,000, guys.
He got cooked.
Adrian, you didn't go down like that, huh?
He got cooked.
Now, here's the thing. Do you think if you paid $65,000 over asking and we're coming to a recession, the housing market is going down, prices are being cut, how long do you think it's going to take you to get back that $65,000 that you overpaid on a house? It's going to take some years. You'll be lucky if you're able to get that $65,000 back in 5 years. You'll be lucky. You really will. And that's in some markets. It's going to be slower in the Midwest than it will be on the coasts or the hot spots like Miami and whatnot. But remember, the higher that you get that appreciation, the more you're going to get hit when the recession hits and prices go down. Notable, the tight competition led to 36% to make an offer on a home without seeing it in person. Oh man, that hurt. That hurt, guys. 36% didn't even go in the house.
Stop it. Get some help.
Did not even look at the home inside. So how do you know what needs to be done? You go in there, maybe the people don't take care of their home and they got pet smell everywhere. You walking into your brand new home you've never even went into and you're just like, wow, it smells in here. I gotta rip up all the carpet. I gotta rip out all the stuff in here. Maybe it was a smoker's house and you did not know it because you didn't go in. What do you think you're gonna do with all that stuff? Rip out the stuff? Oh, but guess what, guys? It's increased cost now because there's a shipping shortage, a labor shortage. Everything costs more, materials. So now you thought that you were gonna do, $10,000 worth flooring. Now you have to do $15,000, $20,000 of flooring. Now you gotta paint, but you didn't expect to paint. All of these things you have to take into consideration. Even so, the competition was fierce, with 80% of buyers saying they made more than one offer, with 41% making 5 offers or more. About 1 in 3 buyers said that they searched for 3 months for their home, while 1 in 8 took 6 months or more. I just wanna say this, guys. You have to understand this. When competition is that high, I think sometimes it's just best to sit out, because we all know that in a competition, when it comes to paying for a home, when it comes to paying for a car, we all know the more competition it is, the higher price you will pay. That is no different than when we had the same situation happen with cars. Remember when cars, during the whole pandemic, there was a shortage of cars, right? Because everything got shut down. Well, the most popular cars that people wanted had a shortage in supply. So what happened to the prices of the cars? Well, they went up. But if you would have waited and said,
You know what? I'm going to sit on the sidelines and wait just a little bit, save some of my money.
then now you can get deals on those cars. Or, it's definitely cheaper than it was during that hot time. So the same thing applies to the housing market. As the real estate market shows signs of cooling, that could give buyers more leverage on these big ticket decisions. The National Association of Realtors last week announced the U.S. is in a housing recession in the terms of decline of sales and building. However, prices continue to rise nationally as inventory remains tight. Now, guys, like I'm saying, right now, this is the looking time. We window shopping. We're like, okay. You drop down 20, 30%. Okay. I'm going ahead and I'm putting my money to the side. Okay. Tim down the street. Okay. He sold his house and it's a $50,000 to $100,000 decrease from what Jake bought his house for in a 5-month period or 6-month period. Okay, it's dropping down. Now we're starting to see news outlets saying we're in a housing recession. We're getting closer, guys. You see how this is working? I see in my comment section saying, Orlando, there won't be a crash. And I'm telling people, look, a crash doesn't happen overnight. It just won't fall off a cliff. There's a build up to it, guys. So once again, be patient. So hopefully you got value out of this content. I'm gonna need you to watch this next video here. It will help you learn all about this crazy housing market. Also get into your first rental property. Check in the description below. We have our membership program, some useful links of getting a free credit report and whatnot. I will see you guys in the next one. Thanks.